Okay, hello ARF. This is a video that I'm making. This is Crank Telephone 101 here, and this is about my Stromberg Carlson Model 337X vacuum tube radio console. Okay, so I've been having problems with this thing, and the main problem with this radio right now is that when I turn up the volume and I try to tune in a station, there's no output. Okay, so you can't tune in a station. There's nothing coming out of the speaker on the broadcast band. I'm only focusing on the broadcast band today. The other bands don't work as well, but right now the broadcast band is my main concern. So what you see in front of me here is some of my test equipment that I have set up. I have the VTVM here just monitoring the B+ voltage. It's about 150 volts or so right now. That's being put on one of the filter capacitors. So that's just a B+ current or voltage monitor. The signal tracer I have set to trace an RF signal, and I have the gain cranked up. And as you can see, if I touch the probe, you'll hear a hum in the speaker. Okay, so that's ready, and it's just grounded to the chassis. And I have my RF signal generator set to put out 455 kilocycles, modulated with a tone, and it's cranked up pretty high right now. Okay, so if we go back down to our radio set, now this yellow clip lead is the grid of the 6K8 tube. Now I'm kind of going to go ahead and explain a little bit about what's going on with this thing. We're going to look at the schematic. Okay, so here's the schematic of the radio, right? Now, right here is the 6K8. So here's the first tube coming from the antenna. Okay. Now, my main issue that I think I have with this radio, unfortunately, it's either going to be an open coil or a bad coupling capacitor from the variable tuning capacitors to the 6K8. Now, I know that, obviously I know that all the old capacitors are going to have to be replaced, but right now I just want to narrow down the one component that's causing the issue. Now, if we look on the 6K8, you can see the control grid is coupled via the C34. Capacitor C34 right there. See that C34 that's coupled, and there's a resistor tied to it to ground there, and it's coming right from your variable tuning capacitor. C34 going right into the control grid. Now, when I put my signal generator on the control grid of the 6K8, there is a hum there, as you hear. Now, I don't know if it's because the signal generator just loads down the circuit or what, but I can't seem to get reception. But if I touch my finger to this, you can hear there's a station coming through. So that tells me that something is not making continuity to the control grid terminal right on the tube. So something's open. It's either that capacitor or it's one of these coils back here, and I'll explain that in a minute. Now, I got the signal generator fed right into the antenna, so if I touch the probe to the generator, you'll hear the tone through the tracer. Hear that? So you can hear that I'm injecting right here with this red clip lead, right into the front end to the antenna, and we're not making it through to the 6K control grid. Now if I back up a stage and go to the 6K7 control grid, which is at the top cap, I'm going to clip on right now to the 6K7 tube control grid. So we're going to be clipping on right here, the IF tube, the 6K7 control grid. Okay, so let me clip on there. And hey, what do you know? There's a tone coming through the radio speaker. So now we're going to go back to the front end, and there's nothing. Now what that tells me is that everything past the 6K7 control grid is good. I know this IF transformer is good. I tested it. Everything past here is good. I didn't test this other IF transformer yet, but I have no reason yet to think that it's bad. I'm thinking it's either this coupling cap or one of these coils. Now, let me get a flashlight out here and I'll show you the coupling cap. Hang on a second. We got papers falling everywhere. So I'm going to show you this coupling cap here. We're going to get the flashlight out here. We're going to bring the gonna bring this close to what we're working on here. Alright, hang on, just bear with me a second so I can get this set up. Now, I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see it, but if you look right where the flashlight's pointed at, right at that coil, I don't know how easy it is for you to see it, but you see right there, that wire that's sticking out of that coil right there? Right in the middle of your screen, right there, that wire. That's not connected to anything. And I'm worried that that's an open coil right there. So if someone could clue me in on that and help me out a little bit, that would be great. I really hope that's not an open coil, but I'm kind of thinking it might be. And here's the coupling cap right there off the control grid. And I tested that on the Heathkit capacitor tester right there, and it does test open. So that capacitor very well could be the problem, or it could be that coil. Unless that coil's with one of the short wave bands or something. I don't know if that's in the broadcast band circuit or not. But I'm thinking that coil might have something to do with the problem. Unless it's in with one of the short wave bands. But that just tells me something right there then, that if I'm putting out a signal through the signal generator and we're getting it at the 6K7 but we're not getting it through the rest of the radio, that would tell me that the problem is somewhere between the antenna and the 6K8 control grid. I can provide the schematic if you need it on the ARF where I'm going to be posting this, but if anyone would be able to clue me in on this a little bit and help me out a little bit, that would be great, because I really hope to get this radio working. So please guys, let me know if you have any advice to give me with this set, and I can take more video if we need it. I can give you the schematic, whatever. I just hope to get this thing working here. And thanks for all your help, and let me know what you guys come up with. Have a nice day.